What is up, everyone? I am here with the Thursday Live, and yeah, we got a good show today. Can cannabis reduce the effects of autism? That is what we're going to find out right now, and it's going to be a really interesting show. So I'm just going to wait for anyone to come in. I'm going to wait about a minute or two, and then we're going to get into this because this is something that's has some conflicting results, I must say. Hope everyone watching this is having a great day. If you're new here, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Because I think it's pretty cool, like covering all aspects of this condition. We got to do that. So I'll give you guys another minute to pop on. And quickly, let me know if you're here in the chat. Let me just comment that actually. Cool. I think we're going to start getting into this article and we'll see if any comments come up. So, by marijuanadoctors.com, conditions, autism. Here's what it says. Medical marijuana can help with disorders like autism or Asperger's. Since these conditions can cause difficulties with social skills, nonverbal communications, and repetitive behaviors, they can impact your quality of life. Cannabis can treat common symptoms of autism. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Cannabis can treat common symptoms of autism like anxiety and tics. Learn more about autism, and how medical marijuana can help. How is medical marijuana an effective treatment? A growing body of positive anecdotal evidence suggests that taking cannabis for autism is an effective treatment. Researcher and clinical psychologist Dr. Giovanni Martinez is currently researching treating children with ASD with CBD, cannabinoid oil. In one case, a child who received a twice-daily dose of hemp oil spoke his first words after treatment. In just 3 weeks, he developed sign language skills after being previously nonverbal. The child in question was once so frustrated about being unable to communicate that he would self-injure. He can now express himself and is living a happy life. Medical marijuana is known to be a solution to alleviating outbursts of rage, seizures, and temper tantrums among autism patients. I don't like that terminology there. Cannabis and cannabis-based products such as concentrates and tinctures can be responsible for lessening of any erratic actions that may have occurred in the past. Patients who use medical marijuana to treat their symptoms become extremely relaxed and very attentive to what they are doing. Best put, medical marijuana can serve as an exceptional behavioral modification, which can protect the health and safety of an autistic patient. Autism symptoms treated by medical marijuana. Medical pot can be used to treat the seizures, communication problems, a tendency to self-harm, inability to sleep, and potentially more. Many patients who receive marijuana daily see improvement in at least one of ASD's core symptoms, including repetitive behaviors, social communication, and language. In most cases, things like food acceptance, sensory difficulties, seizures, and sleep and feeding disorders also improve. And I've experienced every single one of those except for seizures. How to get medical marijuana for autism. To get cannabis for autism, you'll first need a written recommendation from the physician if your state has legalized the herb for your autism symptoms. Not all doctors will be willing to provide you with this recommendation, so you'll want to find a qualified cannabis doctor. Every state has its own laws about which conditions qualify you for medical weed. You may even be required to obtain a medical marijuana ID card before you begin treatment. Once you receive this written recommendation and ID card, then you can buy your cannabis at a dispensary. Just getting a drink here. Ways to use medical marijuana for autism. You focus on health when you're using cannabis medically, therefore, you don't want to smoke it. We all know the dangers of smoking, so what are the alternatives? You can take marijuana in various ways, including vaping, sprays, tinctures, juices, or edibles. The above methods of using medical marijuana may be right for you if you're focusing on your health. They eliminate smoke and enable you to try different ways of taking pot, so you can find the perfect method for you. Best strains of marijuana for autism. There are many different strains of medical cannabis for autism available to purchase from dispensaries. Each has its unique effects. To find out what's best suited for you, it's a good idea to speak with a knowledgeable budtender or your medical marijuana doctor. Before you do that, you can take a look. At the short list for background information. Using marijuana to treat seizures. A worrying and frightening symptom of autism is often having seizures. This is very common for others. I've never personally experienced this, and I'm very blessed that I haven't. If these affect you and you don't want to take conventional medications, the following cannabis strains may work for you. Grapefruit Kush or Black Bubba, Grapefruit Kush is a hybrid strain, and Black Bubba is a indica strain. Using marijuana to improve relaxation and communication. This is more up my alley. When you're on the autism spectrum, it's common to experience communication difficulties as well as an inability to relax. The following strain should offer some form of relief from these symptoms. Cocolope and Blue Dream. Cocolope is highly energizing sativa strain, and Blue Dream is the most recognizable strains. Using marijuana to treat sleep problems. Cannabis is well known for its sedative qualities. There's probably nothing worse for your health than not sleeping. That's true. As you sleep, your body has a chance to repair itself. You recharge. If you have autism and are only able to sleep, the following heavy indica strains will do the trick. Afghani, Northern Lights, and that's it. Side effects from marijuana for autism. Medical weed can significantly improve your autism symptoms. However, it's important you know, hey Jennifer, how are you? And Quigley is also here, so let me put the link in the chat. Post comment. So Quigley, you are all ready to go. Whenever you're ready. I'm about to finish up here. Okay, so while you should experience side effects from using cannabis, when compared with prescriptions medications, the effects are typically mild and go away once treatment wears off. Some potential side effects you could experience when using marijuana for autism are sleepiness, a high feeling, dry mouth, red eyes, and increased hunger. But if I'm being honest, those effects seem pretty mild compared to other ones. Let's see. When compared with prescription medicines, medical pot treatment can have more benefits and fewer harmful side effects. As researchers conduct more studies on cannabis, more benefits of the herb may be found, thereby making it a more suitable treatment for individuals with autism or any other health condition. Before starting your marijuana treatment, consult with your cannabis doctor to go over all the potential side effects. All right. So what do you guys think? What are your initial thoughts on that to whoever's watching? I know there's 5 in the chat. And we're going to Quigley, hello, please hop on. You can use the StreamYard link. $4.20 Iron Fire House just subscribed, man. I gotta give you a subscriber, man. That is amazing. Certainly fitting for the show here today. All right. So yeah, Tasha, you can just click the link here. Making you download Google Chrome. Oh. Hey there, Firehorse. Wait, you'll use your phone. Okay, good call. 420 Iron Firehorse. That is perfect for the show today. But yeah, quickly, whenever you're ready, because hopefully you have some good experiences coming out of this. I'll be very interested in that. I wonder if I can invite you. Let me click on the link again in case anyone else wants to come on. There is 2 guests here. Add to stream. And add to stream. What's up?
Not much. Hello, hello.
Good to see you guys. Hey, how are you, Jennifer?
Good.
Jennifer Mullis is a good friend of mine. I'm glad she's on here. By the way, anyone who's watching can come on here. I appreciate it. So quickly, really, I just like to hear about your own experiences because I know that you have done this before and you've experienced some positive results from this, right?
Yeah. I mean, positive. I think, like, as far as cannabis goes, I started smoking it when I was in high school recreationally.
Oh,
Um, yeah. So as far as like, I feel like I've sort of been self-medicating for 18 years because I was only very recently actually diagnosed with anything at all.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
So I've been using it as kind of a coping mechanism. I feel like to sort of, uh, I feel like personally it can help to sort of quiet a lot of the like racing mental stuff that's going on and
Right.
like calm me down.
For sure. Um, and yeah, to me, what's important to me is the lack of the side effects, because they're really just. I mean, it's kind of like taking coffee when you look at it, and when you shoot, what was I gonna say? I got distracted. But when you look at it, it's basically like taking coffee or just any regular medication, with no really serious side effects. So I think it's very beneficial. Um,
For sure.
and I think the net gain is extremely good here, because I know for me, since I've tried out the gummies, it's been extremely beneficial with my relationships and like getting along with people and keeping a cool head. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I had a pretty short temper today because I haven't had any yet. I was
Yeah.
grouchy at work. But other than that, it's done wonders, with very, and I'm taking it very small too. So they're
Yeah.
pretty low here.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits to something having so like few adverse side effects is basically it's like you don't really have a lot to lose with trying it, right? So if you can try it out and if it doesn't work for you, then it's like you haven't really lost anything because you're not like sick because of taking it and you're not going to be addicted to it because you took it for, a month or so. It's more of like addiction from cannabis is more of a habit thing. It's not like a physical dependency.
Right. Cause and forgive me if I'm not supposed to say this, but like you were saying that like you take a bong not to get high, but just because it's habit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point I I feel like it's more of a crutch than anything. It's like
Mm.
I rely on doing it to like feel like my day is normal, you
Right.
know? It's like there's something missing if I don't.
Yeah, because it's like a routine for you, right?
So routine, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I know, and thank goodness marijuana doesn't have this, but I know, heroin addicts, like they can get harassed by just shooting anything into their veins. Like they could shoot ice water and get high. Because
Yeah, I mean, because there's that habit, but then the difference with things like heroin is that there's also a physical dependency that comes about. So, like, for instance, if you are a heavy opiate user and you try to quit cold turkey, you could die
oh
from
yeah,
your withdrawal symptoms.
um, yeah, that's a great point. We got a question from Chad here. Quickly, do you prefer sativa or indica?
I like sativa during the day and indica at night because if I smoke indica too early in the day, then I need to take a nap.
All right, fair enough. So Jennifer, I'd like to hear your experience if you've had any. What's it been like? And like, have you seen a decrease in the negative effects?
No, I don't have autism.
Oh, you don't?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but I have friends who are, so that's why I'm interested in this.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
So I can help them out.
That also, like, there's so many things that this can help out with. So I think it's really interesting. But have you had any have you had any experience? Did that take down your effects of that? Um,
I really can't think of anything.
have you tried it before?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Um, but so quickly, you said you kind of take it to slow down your thoughts, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I find that if I don't smoke, kind of first thing in the morning, then I'll be kind of irritable.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with just like my mind can't calm down. Like I deal with a constant internal, sometimes it's a monologue, sometimes it's a dialogue, depends
Oh,
on the day. But basically it's a lot easier for sort of like the chill side of my internal monologue to win when I smoke, whereas if I'm totally, sober, then like the anxiety side of my monologue tends to win more often than not.
right.
Yeah, where like, I'll be in whatever situation, and if I've smoked, I can be like, you know what, it's fine, it's chill, whatever. But if I haven't, then it's a problem, and I'm like, no, I can't stop thinking about this thing, and it's really bothering me. So
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. Like, I know for me, I'm extremely self-conscious about like the actions I do. Um, and really, I'm way too self-conscious, to tell you the truth. Um,
well,
so so
doesn't help.
saying so like when I do that, it's not that it. I mean, obviously, I get that some actions are wrong, and I feel bad about every wrong action I do. But with the gummies, like I lay it back a little bit. I say, okay, I didn't do something that bad, right? We got to take things into perspective. And there was no way I would have that without these gummies.
Yeah, perspective for sure is something that it
Yeah,
helps.
it does give you like a clearer head, um, because it does get such a bad rap, and it's really not fair, especially from the people who don't take it. And coming from experience, I thought it was horrible. Like, I thought you weren't supposed to take it.
Yeah. Well,
So
I feel like if like there's two sides of it. Like it can definitely make you content with
it
not doing anything. So if especially indica strains, you smoke enough and you can get that sort of couch lock feeling where it's like, you know what, I am so content to just sit here. And I think that's where the laziness aspect of it
yeah.
can sort of come from. But it
Well,
can also enhance and make it more enjoyable and more, just like easier to do things that you have to do. So
For sure. And I'd have to say that definitely the only times that it happens for me is when it's situational. Like you gotta depend on the like obviously when I'm going into work I don't do anything. When I'm in school I don't do anything. Just when like and I kind of schedule my shifts late, just so I can like have a couple hours of relaxing. But then when the shift starts, you got to get to work. So yeah.
Mhm.
Iron Fire Horse brought up some really interesting points here. True Quigley cannabis can help with getting out off the opioids. Yeah, I haven't really done the research on that, but that makes sense because it's eliminated a lot of other qualities. I'm sure it can eliminate addiction.
Yeah,
And
I
it,
have heard that
mhm.
before.
It also he also or she I don't know who was talking there, but
They.
they it gets rid of my intensity. Yeah, me too. Like I was in
Mhm.
a bad mood. I probably wouldn't be in a bad mood if I. Oops.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot easier to kind of just, oh, where did he go? Hopefully he makes
Weird.
back.
Yeah.
I was saying what was I saying? Yeah, I find it makes it easier to kind of just be like overall chilled out and less reactive in general.
Did I miss something?
No, I was basically just saying that, just agreeing with your point that it does kind of make you feel more like, I think, like chilled out and centered in
Right.
general,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like just it's easier to not react really strongly immediately to something that happens.
Right. And I know for me, like a guy on the spectrum, I hate when things don't go to plan. Like when things go outside of the plan, I freak out just naturally. I
Yeah.
don't always show it, but it happens in my mind. Um, and just like everyone says, like just getting that relaxed feeling, it's so crucial. Um,
Yeah.
and it takes a while to kick in for me, particularly because I'm new to it.
Well, I think because you're eating it too.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I'm a runner. Like I'm a runner. I'm a boxer. I do a lot of activity. Like I ain't gonna smoke that.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying like when you do smoke or vape it, then it gets into your bloodstream faster, which is why it
That's
works faster.
yeah. And I always eat before taking it. So
Yeah, so when you eat it, like you have to wait for your body, like your stomach to metabolize it as opposed to it being absorbed like directly into your bloodstream from your lungs.
yeah, I tried it. I tried on an empty stomach once, and it just like tore me up inside. It felt so bad the day after.
Yeah. It's funny, it's really funny with edibles and tolerance actually because it can be so all over the place. Like
Right? Yeah. Spectrum
I
minutes.
used to get these chocolate bars
Mm-hmm.
and basically the whole chocolate bar was 500 milligrams
Oh,
of yeah. And so it was it was broken up into 24 little squares, right?
right.
So I would have to eat like more than half of the bar to feel anything at all.
Uh,
But a friend of mine would eat like two squares and they were like knocked out, like they threw up, like they were so like way too high
yeah.
after eating two squares. And I ate more than half the bar and I'm like barely feeling anything. So it's
Uh,
so funny how
you're
that
doing
works.
it on my level.
I think it's a tolerance, right? Because it's been like 18 years that I've been using it regularly. So
I started like a month ago, so
yeah,
I'm pretty low.
that's always when it's the most fun.
Yeah, I only use it for medical purposes though.
Yeah. But
Just
you can I feel like even if you're doing something for medical purposes, you can still like enjoy the side effects or whatever you want to call them.
that's true. Um, I mean,
Like it's there. It's not like it's not gonna go away. Like it's not like it isn't gonna be there, so you may as well enjoy it.
I get like a dry mouth and a headache after though.
Yeah, the dry mouth, that one is very, very common. Call it cotton mouth.
Cotton mouth. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this. if you don't have anything to add, it's going to be one of the shorter live streams. But look at this.
Well,
yeah,
I would say that like as much benefit as you can find, I think that like coming from my perspective, it is important to an extent to pay attention to habits and what kind of habits you're forming, because as much as it can be beneficial, I feel like it's also a little bit
if you don't do it, it can be very, if you don't do it right, it can be very dangerous.
Absolutely, yeah, and it can be kind of like I said, habit forming, and it's like I feel almost dependent on it at this point, and I don't know if that's a good thing. So like, yes, it's helpful, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if I can live without it, and like how my life would feel without it, and so that's not necessarily the best thing. But then again, I mean, plenty of people rely on medication every day to feel good and normal. So, you know, it's hard to say, really, I guess.
Like, the way I see it, this may be a poor comparison, but it's like when you get your wisdom teeth out and you get Oxycontin to numb the pain. It's like you could get addicted to it, but like if you do it right, it's just like medication.
Yeah, or I mean, I think maybe a good comparison would be something like statin medication, right? Which is like statin drugs, like cholesterol lowering drugs, right? Like people who are prescribed those are generally prescribed to be on those for the rest of their life. Now, I mean, we can argue about, maybe that's not the best example because of cholesterol. It's so convoluted in nutrition and stuff. But the point is that like being prescribed medication that you're expected to have to take for the rest of your life isn't necessarily medically a bad thing.
Right. I think with what we're dealing with here, it's a massive net gain. So yeah, Chad, you brought up a really interesting point, and I kind of laughed at that because I thought it was funny. But that's a really good point. You said, I don't feel it, I don't feel it, I don't feel it, take me to the hospital. And that can be very true with someone with a really high tolerance. So that's why I'm going to make it my best effort to stay low, you know, and like stay small.
Yeah, it can, you know, that can also be a problem for somebody with a low tolerance if you're eating it because you expect it to kick in faster. This happened before I was born, but I have this story of the only time that my mom ever did cannabis. And so my dad was a regular user and my mother was not. She was very anti-drug and very against it. This was in like the 70s.
Oh, okay.
And so my dad made brownies.
What the heck?
Yeah, so my dad made brownies and he convinced her to eat a brownie. So she ate a brownie. And my mom, being the very stubborn and headstrong person that she was, I'm pretty sure that she was also autistic. My mom ate a brownie and she waited like 10 minutes and she's like, this isn't working. And my dad's like, just wait. Please just wait.
It's gonna hit you like a freight train.
And then my mom proceeded to eat like half of the tray.
Oh.
And then it still wasn't working. So she went upstairs to her bedroom. And my dad stayed downstairs and had the TV on and was watching TV. And apparently what happened was my mom started laughing. It kicked in and she started laughing.
Yeah.
And she couldn't stop laughing to the point where she was having trouble breathing because she was just like laughing so hard. And she started panicking because she couldn't breathe because she was like, obviously she was breathing, but she felt like she couldn't breathe because she was laughing.
Yeah.
And then she was like calling for my dad and he couldn't hear her because of the TV, and it was a terrible experience for her and she vowed never to do it again.
Yeah, I mean that could very well have been an overdose. That was very lucky.
Well, that's the thing, is that it's really difficult to overdose on marijuana, on cannabis, whatever. The what's it called?
For someone
therapeutic ratio.
Well, I mean, for someone who had never done it before.
It doesn't matter. The therapeutic ratio is so high that it's actually incalculable.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You can't, they've tried to kill mice with cannabis, and you have to, like, the amount of cannabis that you have to ingest is about the equivalent to inhaling all of the smoke from a whole ounce in 1 second, which is impossible. It's just impossible.
Yeah, that is. I mean, now that I think of it, it's basically like overdosing on coffee. Like, yeah, you can do it, but it's like really hard.
You can have a really unpleasant time, and
But
you can take too much and it's too strong of a reaction, but it's not like life-threatening.
Right, for sure.
It just feels like you feel like you're gonna die, but you're not.
Well, I felt like I was gonna die quite a few times in my life.
Yeah. But like if you had actually gone in and gotten tested, the hospital would have like just laughed at you.
It's like you're fine. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're just having fun. Just like
yeah. We swear this is supposed to be fun. People do this for fun.
Yeah.
Just eat some goldfish or something, some Mountain Dew. You'll be fine.
You got that
Yeah.
right.
Jennifer is full support right there. You got that right. Well, we're coming up on a half hour here. I think I might end this but thank you very much for coming on.
My pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see 420 Iron Fire Horse, Chad, Dragon 4 Enforcer. Thank you all for coming today. We got a lot of comments up in here. That's cool.
Yeah, I would also be really interested because I imagine the article that you read, I did miss that at the beginning, was about autism and cannabis.
Yeah, I can send you that link.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I would also be really curious to see research done into psilocybin and cannabis, because there's been a lot of research done into that and depression recently. And apparently, because of the way it works in causing parts of your brain to be connected that aren't normally and allow them to talk to each other when they aren't normally. And part of, from what I understand, people with autism spectrum deal with is a different wiring in the brain. So I would find it really interesting to see like studies done on the effects that psilocybin could have on autistic brains.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because it has been shown to like change the connections.
Mm-hmm.
Way, so I will definitely look into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it too because I find it pretty interesting. But yeah, that was just a side note.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Quigley and Jennifer, for coming on. This was a very productive live stream. I enjoyed talking about this, and we're gonna see you next time, guys. Peace out.
That was great. Thanks for having me. See ya.